So I have a question for everybody, but before I ask you this question, I'm going to tell you the story, paint the picture. All in a couple long wins. So I've sold 2,000 homes in 22 years, went through a divorce, bunch of things going on. And ultimately, it led me to recently, somebody mentioned to me about selling windows. They got the real estate license, never sold a house, but they were selling windows, making really good money for a couple appointments a day. And they called me back, and I was mentoring some couple people, and I thought, you know what? Window sales might be a good idea for them. So the guy ends up coming and giving us his description, and I figured if this guy could make this much money a couple appointments a day, man, that's pretty amazing. So I could teach anybody to do that. And then he offered me a job selling windows. Then, long story short, after a week of working with a company and being way too much energy for everybody there, they got 30 people, 10 closers, 10 door knockers, 10 callers, 45 appointments a day they're making, and they're making about $45 million a year. After everything I've been through and know that I could scale this thing amazingly. So, long story short, a couple of their lead people went on sit downs with them, and they were good. And I was like, but they're their top people, and I'm like, I'm gonna crush this thing. So I memorized everything. Long story short, I handled their objections. I did everything, and they were upset that I crushed the objections. And the only thing I could think of is that I was a little outshining their egos. And I'm not saying this, but I'm not gonna dim my light anymore. Okay, so anyways, I learned all this in about 30 hours of brain juice. About $300,000 is what I would charge them to learn, train everything, and I would be able to 10x their company from 48 million to $500,000. 100%. So I called the window company, the one that all the people are selling. Found another guy, first call, boom, looking for a salesperson, boom, call, boom, show my skills, he's loving it. But then he felt I was giving him a little Russian, he making him nervous. I'm a lot, and I know this, but I'm also not hiding this. But when I go into sales presentations, I'm obviously, of course, more monotone, I acclimate to my environment. But when I'm going to work with somebody, I want to make sure, see if they can handle me for me, because at the end of the day, they're going to have to. If not, I got to do something else. So regardless, I'm going to be selling windows and training and building a company. Either I'm going to build someone else's, or I'm going to build my own. And after selling windows and how hard it is to sell 2,000 windows, to see so many people selling windows that don't have the skills, and if they could just get better on things, they would scale and make so much more money. But their limiting beliefs is half of it. Comfort is about 40%, and the 10%, the easy part, is just teaching the skills. So 90% of them is held back by their own self. So the question I have for you, in all seriousness, I'm asking myself really, but I want to know what your thoughts are. I figured a way to open a window company and just start selling windows. Get a couple contractors to go out, measure, and do the appointments and crush it. So I'm just asking myself, the reason I want to work with another company is because they have all the systems in place, just like the brokers I'm with. No, I'm not a broker. Everybody asks, but all a broker is errors and omission coverage is what they have to do, and I'd rather pay $12,000 a year and do everything else and not have to worry about that. So same thing with if I walked into a company, I want to sell. Selling is what I do best, closing, I should say. So I'd rather somebody run the rest. So I was excited because I had somebody, but I pushed a little too hard. Part of me did it on purpose. It's not over yet, but I'm just asking myself, do I want to have to walk on eggshells around people that are tiptoeing? This person, so the first company is making 45 million. This one's making 1.6. I can easily get them to 50 million with 6 people versus 30. easily. Like it'd be easy. But they look at me like I'm crazy because I haven't sold windows. No, I've sold houses. And I asked the owner, what do you think is harder, selling homes or windows? He said homes. 100%. Selling windows is easy. I could sell 10 appointments a day. If I really wanted to, I've sold 10 homes a month. I could sell 10 windows a day, which I'd make more money than selling real estate. So as long as you have the lead source coming in, which he does, it's over, baby. So what do? Do I open